Welcome back to the final round of Vinberg Open, back 9. Sponsored by Discraft, and we are playing the first event of this season on the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. We are in Falkenberg in southern Sweden, and thank you to all the Patreon subscribers. My name is Michael Buy, and with me we have
Lennartsson.
Amanda Lennartsson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the tour partners of the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. You make it happen. Going into the back 9, we have Julia at -2 and Josefine and Matilda. A lot of strokes behind Julia, but it's a battle for second and third place. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notifications. Moving into hole 10, par 5, 311 meters. We have OB on the right side, but ideally you want to stay nearby the OB line the entire way, but let's see how it plays out. Josefine turning it over, but stays in bounds. A little bit frustration from Amanda asking it to settle down, but a little bit tight on the left side. Matilda keeping it wide and getting right in the middle of the fairway. It's a good shot. It's a good pull from Matilda.
No, from Julia.
Oh, Julia, sorry. Getting a little bit on the left side. Josefine. Right in the middle of the fairway. Hole 10 on round 2 played as the 4th most difficult hole on the course, averaging 5.7, so getting a par here is pretty decent.
Yeah, and Julia ended up a little bit to the left. Matilda with her second shot here.
As Amanda mentioned on round 2, most FPO players go for the tight line, getting through the tree line, because that's the shortest way to the basket.
Yeah, and you have a lot of gaps there.
Josefine flexing a forehand and makes the gap, and she'll have a short approach for the par. Julia didn't make the gap, but she'll have a short upshot. And you are going the wide route, taking all the trees out of play, but a little bit short, but should be an easy par from there. Right?
Maybe, we'll see.
Josefine with a forehand flex. Yep, 4 meters to the basket.
Maybe a little bit more than 4, but still in the circle.
Matilda pulling it a little bit left and Julia leaving it a little bit short. It's gonna have a tester.
Good approach.
Okay.
A jumper from Amanda. It's a good pace and a good height on the putt, but a little bit on the left side, unfortunately. Matilda barely sticking it in the basket, but getting the bogey.
Yeah,
little
this basket is not nice today.
Josephine says she's not having enough grip on her thumb for some reason. Was it rainy or wet in the ground?
Yeah, a little bit wet, but not too bad.
Almost sneaking
Oh,
out.
yeah, that one was a shaky putt.
But Amanda gets the par. And Julia for a tap-in bogey. So you're getting strokes on the card at least. Moving on to hole 11, par 4. 219 meters. You want to crest this hill and tree, and then you have OB to contend with and a Mando. And a low ceiling to get to the basket, so it's a tricky second shot. Amanda making some corrections from round 2, getting good height and hyzer.
Yeah, I switched to a more stable disc, so I used a cloud breaker here instead of DD3.
But it's the same disc.
Ish, the same disc, but it has more stability.
Yeah. And your DD3 is a lightweight, and is this also a lightweight or?
No. No. This is max weight.
Yeah. And Josefine barely passing the
Hill?
the lump, I don't know what they call it, but that big thing, and Matilda passes it.
Let's see what Julia has here. Good height.
That's a good height, good pull from Julia, and
Yes.
she passes because last round she was standing on it. So we've seen a lot of the FPO players leaking to the left. That's gonna be hard to leak to the left with a forehand. So let's see, or maybe it's not.
Oh, it's coming back.
It's coming back.
Yeah, coming back a little bit late.
It hit the tree, but she's gonna have quite open for the par. Matilda is overturning this, and it's not coming back.
No, unfortunately, she's going OB.
Julia, this needs to keep turning, and it does, but it's a low ceiling shot, so getting something so high up, you kind of need to be lucky to just getting through everything. Let's see if Amanda can get lucky here. Not really.
No, you need to get a little bit more wider than I went. Let's see here.
Matilda. Also a little overturned.
Yeah, and she went OB
She
again.
went OB again. That's
Yeah, I think by only with like 20 or 30 centimeters.
That's a good approach from Josefine. Let's see if Julia can follow suit. And looks good. Out of the hand and should be pretty close to the basket. It's a good approach. Should be easy par for you. Hole 11 played as the 5th most difficult hole on round 3 for FPO division, averaging 4.7, so getting a par here is getting strokes on the field, and Julia getting the par. And a triple bogey from Matilda, that's really rough, especially if you go OB 2 times. Par from Amanda. And Josefine with a drink in her hand and the bag and umbrella and everything.
And my caddy.
Hole 12, par 3, 92 meters. OB on the left, right side and long of the basket.
Really uphill.
Plays really far, and this one needs to stay straight. He's going straight towards the OB line, but
Still safe,
still
but
safe. Are you inside the circle or?
no, I think I'm at the edge of the circle.
Josefine throwing the forearm flex and getting a little bit short, but should have easy par or even a little bit of a birdie. Look, let's see if Julia puts it in the same distance range as Josefine. This is nice and wide from Matilda, but it needs to come back, and it does.
Yeah, the fairway is pretty wide here, so no problem. Good approach.
Good layup from Josefine. Hole 12 is one of those holes where it's a little bit too far for the FPO division. And it's mostly about playing for par, but how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you have to play for par here, or because you have the distance to get to the basket here, right?
Yeah, I have the distance to get to the basket, and of course I was always trying to aim for the birdie here. But if you don't get a good shot from the tee, it's hard.
Yeah. Hole 12 actually averaged 3.3 with no birdies for the FPO division, so in round 3.
Round 3, yeah.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Hole 13, and also the most difficult hole on the course for round 3. It's a par 4, 117 meters. It's a short one, but it's a really tricky one because you cannot really cover that much distance from the tee, and the sweet spot is real. Ooh.
Yeah, I was super happy about the fairway hit. Josefine with her forehand.
A little bit early, and it doesn't really go through, so I think she's not gonna have a look towards the basket. And Julia, ooh, is that even out of bounds maybe?
No, she's safe.
She's safe, but it's gonna be tricky to lay up from there.
It's so hard from that position.
Matilda is looking decent from the hand. And ooh, almost.
Yeah,
going out
no,
of bounds.
she's ending up in the OB, I think.
Oh, she was OB?
Yeah, I think so.
Amanda. So that is the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's where you want to be from tee.
And this is tricky for Julia. She has to throw over the out of bounds, but gets it a little bit too high, and she's gonna have a third shot for another layup towards the sweet spot. Hilda. Looks like she hit a tree. And Julia for a fourth shot from the sweet spot, so getting a good turnover.
Good shot from there.
That's a really good shot. She'll have...
Yeah, she's in circle.
Hole 13 actually averaged 5.4 for the FPO division, so even getting a bogey here is getting strokes on the field, but you don't want to aim to get bogeys on this hole. And you hit some kind of hole in the ground.
Yeah, it's a big hole, like in circle 1 here. Good approach from Josefine. Yeah, and Matilda didn't have any other option here, just to lay it up.
Matilda going for the putt, but Or was she? I don't know.
Yeah, I think she was trying to.
That's
Good bid from
that's
Julia.
a really good bid from Julia, but left it a little bit too low, and
Me too.
Amanda as well from the hole on the ground.
So if I wasn't standing in the hole, maybe that would have went in.
Most likely. So we have to blame the course designer for planting a hole.
In circle 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, tap-in bogey.
Double bogey from Matilda. Moving into hole 14, par 4, 166 meters. And you want to land short of here. And you have Amanda on the left side that you need to go right on. And it's a tricky hole because the sweet spot is quite small. And the second shot is quite demanding and tight. And Josefine's throwing a forehand. And this lands on a great spot for a forehand player. She can throw a forehand flex from there probably, or a backhand hyzer.
Yeah. I was trying to aim more to the right all 3 rounds, but still ended up like in that position every time. Because you want to like cross, like Julia is doing here. You want to cross to the right here.
Yeah.
So you see here, so you can do like a more.
Yeah, that's a good
throw.
shot from Julia, but ideally you want to be like 5 meters shorter than Julia landed, but she'll have a look to attack the basket.
For a backhand shot, it's better to be like a little bit long than short.
Matilda landing on a great spot. This one looks like a nice shot. And it is. It's rolling towards the basket, but now
it's rolling away.
Now it's need to sit down and it simmers down outside of circle 1, but you'll have an uphill putt for the birdie. And let's see that again. It rolled like 30 meters.
It was a good shot, but unfortunately the roll away was not in my favor here.
Matilda leaving it a little bit early on left, so she's gonna have to play for the par. This one looks a little bit early as well.
Julia with a good throw, a little bit short, but she still have a putt from there.
Josefine with a nice height on the approach, and she's inside the circle. It's a good approach. Julia, she's most likely going for the layup, I believe. No, she's going for it.
Yeah, she was trying to run that.
Wow. Downhill, going for the putt. And Amanda leaving it a little bit short onto the right side. Let's see if Julia can make the comeback.
Yes.
That's why she's not scared to run it, because she knows she are making the comeback putts.
Also, good putt from Matilda.
Josefine for the par, I believe. Getting a par on hole 14. It's a decent score because it averages 4.4. And it looks like we are having a par frame, unless Amanda... Nope, she got it. You got it.
I got it.
Hole 15, par 3, 94 meters, uphill. Plays more like 105 meters, and you have a little bit of a gap to hit in the beginning. But it's not too bad because it's quite close. Josefine throwing the forehand flex. Flexes nicely. Do you know what disc she's throwing?
I know she's using a lot of grace and sometimes rive. So
Yeah.
one of those.
Amanda, this is your MD3 or?
Yeah, it's my MD3. A little bit short.
But you'll have a look towards the basket. Sneaky line from Julia, and she'll have an obstructed putt for the birdie, but we'll see. Matilda.
Good shot.
Good shot.
Yeah.
Circle 2 putt for Matilda.
Josefine said, yeah, good layup.
Bra layup.
I
Amanda,
continued also to do the layup.
was it really a layup?
No, it was not.
That's a good bid from Matilda, but unfortunately hit it on the left side. And we'll have to contend for the par. And Julia.
Yeah, and Julia is making it.
That's a great putt, but... Yeah, that's a great putt for the birdie.
Yeah.
And Amanda for the par.
Denke, how far do you think it is to the basket?
I think it's 72 meters.
Okay, let's go for this one. That wasn't 72 meters.
Yeah, Dennis. Get a rangefinder. Hole 16, par 3, 74 meters. Island hole with hazard. And it's a really tricky green and a fast green. So you really need to stick the disc short. And because it will skip. Kind of like this.
Yes.
So
Really good shot
as you
from
can
Julia.
see, Julia almost hit it like outside of the island and almost is by the end of the island. And Josefine with the forehand, and the forehand doesn't flare skips as much as the backhand because the backhand skips downhill.
We have a lot of headwind here, as you can see.
Wow. What
My-
disc are you throwing?
Yeah. A link.
Link.
Yeah,
In a headwind?
don't ask. My brain didn't work here.
Matilda is going too heavy on the hyzer. Ooh. Was this a run?
Yeah, it was.
It was. You're crazy. But are you thinking about, I need to get strokes to get the third place
Yeah,
in?
because I knew that I was only 3 strokes behind Matilda here.
Yeah.
So I was trying everything I could here.
Mm. That's a good stop from Josefine. Gonna have a par putt. And you'll have the bogey putt here to save. And you got it. Julia for the birdie.
Good birdie. Josefine with her par.
Matilda's gonna have a bogey putt, sorry. Makes it. Moving on to hole 17, par 3, 92 meters. It's a straight shot, a little bit of a low ceiling, and you have OB on the entire left side that wraps around along of the basket. So you really want to keep it kind of low like we're seeing here, but this is a little bit overturned and kicks out of bounds, unfortunately. Josefine with the forehand. I have to flex it. Looking good.
Yeah, she's so good at these shots.
Wow, almost acing it.
And almost going OB long.
Almost over the line. Let's see that again. That's a beautiful flight on the forehand. It's a
Yeah,
full flex.
she knows those angles so good.
She might have a tricky lie, sorry. And you're following, throwing forehand as well. A little bit high, but it gets through and into circle one. Matilda challenging the OB line, but stays safe and circle's edge.
Yeah.
Julia is just laying that up. Oh, it looks like a run for the par save, but you'll have a bogey. And Amanda from the knee for birdie and gets it. That should feel nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that much birdies.
Reducing the score between you and Matilda doesn't make it, so you'll stay one away from the third place. And Josefine doesn't really convert the circle hit and will have to putt for the par. Julia with a comfortable lead on 11 strokes. She can just play it safe or play for rating at this point. And Matilda, she really needs to make this because it's a battle for the third place right now. And she gets the par. Moving on to the last hole of the last round. Hole 18, par 3, 74 meters. You have OB on the left, right, and long of the basket. You really need to keep it wide on the right side and with some height get to the basket. And this is looking low.
Too low. Yeah.
You're throwing another disc this time.
Yeah, I was trying to go for the basket here because I knew I was only one stroke behind the third place.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go to circle one with my FT.
Matilda also going low, and it's a low burner. She's gonna have a little bit further towards the basket than you have, but Julia
Good
looking
rip.
like a good rip.
Yeah.
Needs to sit down, and it skips out of bounds. Matilda needs to keep this close to the basket.
Yeah, and Matilda also knows that she only needs to save the par here.
Yep. And are you going for this? You have to, or are you thinking about it, or this looks like
No,
a layup.
it was a layup here. It was too risky. Or yeah, I don't know, maybe not, but
Did you have anyone close to take the fourth place, or?
I don't remember.
Julia for the par.
Yeah, she was trying to save the par there.
And Matilda sealing the third place. She gets it. And Julia for her first victory on the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. She gets it with a big smile.
Yeah, she earned this so much.
Everyone coming to hug the 13-year-old player.
Vi får gratulera Julia Fors och vinnare Vinberg Open 2025 och sponsrad av Discraft.
Tournament director Tommy and also the course owner and designer.
Toppen.
Yeah, and congratulations to Julia Fors for the victory.
Yeah, big W from Julia on a Discraft sponsored event. So is that a coincidence? Probably not. She's a great player. She's a force to look out for in the Swedish pro scene.
Yeah,
Julia Fors,
good
congratulations.
for FPO
Thank
future.
you.
Is this your first Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour victory?
Yes.
So, yeah, tell us about your round. How did it feel?
This round felt good, but it was kind of in the middle and at the end. But I'm happy, and I'm happy with all three rounds this weekend.
Yeah, and how do you like this course, and how much have you practiced this course?
I live close to this course, so we're here sometimes, and I like this course a lot. I love the holes and the lines and the course design.
All right, congratulations again. And for what do you have in the future ahead of you? What kind of events do you plan to play?
This year I'm gonna play some more SDGPTs,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna play European Championships, Worlds if I get a spot, and some DGPT events.
All right, congratulations again, Julia.
Thank you.
Julia Fors, the 13-year-old player, taking it down by 10 strokes over Josefine, and Matilda plus 19 on a third spot. Wow. And that concludes the Vinberg Open and the first real FPO coverage on the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. And I'm excited to follow the FPO players all this 2025 season on the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, and also thank you to our partners here.
Yeah, and we are not far away from the next event, which will be played at Alviken in Västervik. And yeah, stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.